Good evening, YouTube. I'm back. This video tonight is going to be about are you built for OTR? The reason why I'm bringing this one to the table is because I always think about my experiences since I started here, and pretty much it's really been rough. And the reason why I can say it's been rough, as y'all know, for the ones that's really been following me, y'all probably know the story. But I've been in the game for 2 years now. My anniversary is actually coming up in a couple days. And from the time that I came out until now, like I said, trucking destroyed my marriage. But not really necessarily, but it did add on top of it. I pretty much had to move out. Like, I lived in North Carolina. I pretty much had to move from North Carolina to Maryland. And that's when my sisters was helping me. So child care got screwed up to where I had to move to Maryland to get my family to help me. Then that didn't work out to where I had to move from Maryland to New York, you know, to get my, I guess to say, destroyed relationship to help out. So, oh man, it was rough. And even down to just the mental part of fatigue, down to just getting scared from time to time when you get stuck on bad streets. Even just dealing with companies, you know, sometimes companies, when you new and you don't know much, dispatches, you can get into it with them. You can just feel like they're not paying you enough. You can just feel so many emotions. So when I asked the question, are you built for trucking, you really have to consider that, because a lot of times when you've never done trucking before, you have no clue what, especially OTR. Now, if you're a local truck driver, being a local truck driver is just like working any 9 to 5. So you might not be affected as bad depending on how many hours you work. But if you're coming out here into like over-the-road trucking, that's a life-changing situation. Like, OTR is not a job. OTR is pretty much a lifestyle. And you'll have a lot of like senior truckers say that, and they totally understand it, because when you think about it, everything that OTR is involved in, whoever's doing it, is pretty much involved in everything that they do from day to day. And it's not even down to just how their mannerisms are. Like, the things that you would do on this truck, you can kind of take it to where you're doing it at home, or you doing it to where you're hanging with your friends. And I just had to say things like, maybe, let's just say you come out here and you somebody that is used to taking like baths every day. So you go back home, you not as, I mean, you take a bath every day, but it's not as like on top of just doing it as much as you was, like, because it was a habit. Because habits just as simple as taking a bath every day gets broken. Now, you'll definitely get a shower out here, but when I say bath, I mean, like, me myself, I'm the person that likes to sit in the bathtub, actually soak and sit there for hours. But now I done got so broken with showers, I'm cool if I take a shower. So it's stuff like that that gets into your lifestyle. That's why I really feel like trucking is a lifestyle. But like I said, for the most part, you spend over 50% of your, it depends on how long you truck. So let's just say you truck for 5 years. In those 5 years, you just spent over 50% out here on the road. So that's another reason why it's a lifestyle, because you're out here. Like right now, this is my life. I'm in my truck making a YouTube video talking to y'all. So it's a lifestyle. Everything I do from every day to day is part of my life. And it affects your family. It affects your spouse. It affects any and everything. If you that's why you have to learn to manage, because if you don't, trucking can really break you in pretty good. And Guilty always have this saying to where it's, what is it, hold the grease. And I really feel like trucking, they definitely hold the grease on some things. They will definitely F you with no Vaseline. Like, if you don't know what you're doing out here, you will definitely be F'd with no Vaseline, meaning that they will get over on you. So, like I said, you know, obviously everybody, you know, the first phase of being interested in trucking is you're sitting here watching my video or other people's videos. So sometimes it can look glamorous the way you have no idea what it really entails for you to have to deal with out here. Now me, you know, I get the uglies, the pretties, Like, y'all already know, that's why I call it Keepingit100 experiences, because for the most part, I try my best to bring both sides, whether it's good or bad. So I really hope I don't give the wrong impression on anything, because I definitely want to have y'all to where y'all on truth for anything that I talk about. So like I said, the main thing that I feel like you will have to look out for as far as being prepared to just have the balls really to deal with trucking is one thing I really feel like can scare the living crap out of you. Obviously, it depends on if you're driving a stick shift or automatic. That's going to be a scary thing within itself, because a lot of people get really terrified with downshifting, or they get scared shifting out on the highway. Your first time out on the highway is going to be terrifying. But once you get used to it, obviously after you train, you're going to be pretty used to it after you get out of training. But once you get your own truck, you know, you out here now, you have to get used to time management. I feel like the main thing that is questionable that can add to the question of are you built for trucking, first of all, is small streets. Obviously, as a big rig, sometimes you have detours to where detours can send you onto bad streets to where you can get stuck or you can get into a pickle. And I mean, that it can really get bad, especially if you don't know how to take your time, or if you haven't really paid attention to your training. You can really get yourself into an accident, or you can get yourself into something where you about to shit your pants. Because there was a lot of times in my career to where I got on a small road and I thought I was going to shit my, heart just boom, 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 boom. But I got out of it though. Me, myself, I always try to stay calm. Even though I do be nervous, but I stay calm and I analyze the situation like, hey, you know, if I turn this way and turn that way, or maybe if I back up, and I always got out of it to where I didn't hurt nobody and I didn't hurt myself. So like I said, just getting in small areas is one thing. I feel like, you know, be prepared for it. And then like I said, safety, because you know, obviously you're traveling from state to state, so pretty much you don't know from state to state how environments are going to be as far as parking, even as far as shippers and receivers. You really have to be aware, fully aware of your surroundings, because if you don't, you know, that can be your means to demise too. When I say demise, I mean like you can get hurt, killed, or anything. So if you're one of them people that's scary of certain things, I really probably would recommend team with your wife, or team with, I wouldn't really say friend, but if you can team with your spouse, that's the best thing to do. But yes, so environment, you know, be safe, always be vigilant, look around, don't just park somewhere and don't have a clue if it's a nice place. So that's where trip planning comes into play. You want to kind of Google and know the places that you're going. But as you get time in trucking, you're going to learn locations anyway. I mean, you really, especially if you're a true like 48 state runner, you're going to learn interstates, you're going to learn US highways. You want to learn it, and you're going to learn certain truck stops that stick out the most, especially if you always go past them often. So like I said, you're going to have to worry about small streets. You're going to have to worry about, like I said, you got to worry about the environment. And then, yes, are you built for trucking? You're going to have to worry about getting got over by your dispatcher if you got a crappy dispatcher or company. Because a lot of times when they know that people are new drivers, they'll give them lowball loads because they know the driver has no clue what he should be getting paid. And God forbid you got a felony, or you got, like, let's just say maybe you have a failed drug test to where places like Western Express will give you a chance. You know, you making bottom low dollars, like 36 cents, you know, a mile, and whereas most people making over 40 cents a mile. So that's why I say, are you ready for trucking? Because some people, you know, you get to these things to where you get in it so it don't bother you at first because you're real green the way you don't know. But once time get on you and you start realizing the truth, you know, it can put you into an angry rage to where now you ready to quit, company hop, you ready to cuss dispatchers out because you know they're using you. So there's a lot to consider when you jumping into OTR. You really got to have the mental just strength to stick it out. Because half the time, just from those three things alone, like I said, parking, environment, getting stuck on small streets because it's a big truck, and then, like I said, dealing with your monies or dispatchers, companies, Most people don't even last the first year. And if they do last past the first year, you know, they do wise up. But I have to say, if you don't have true passion for trucking, don't do it. Because there's going to come a lot of times where things are going to get rough and you're going to be like, I'm ready to quit. Man, I want to get a local job, but I don't even want to do trucking no more, the way you just give up trucking altogether. And I wouldn't blame you. You know how many times that I wanted, like when I was at Prime, I've pretty much been a lease driver from day one. From training, I jumped straight into a lease truck. I've never been a company driver, so I have no clue about the culture of a company driver. I just know from what I hear from others and just doing research. But I'm just saying that to say, you know, I jumped into it head first. So I had a lease truck at Prime, and there's a lot of times I truly wanted to pull my hair out. But let me, I have to get my charger, guys, so I can finish this. So bear with me real quick. Yeah, that's how it is when you got your phone. So bear with me real quick, guys. Because my phone is about to die. So now I'm going to have to plug y'all up. I'm about to do a live soon too. So let me put the plug in. Alright. So yes, like I said, there's a lot of times where I told my dispatch, I was like, man, how can I turn this truck in? Because I know for sure y'all not giving me good loads. And I know that company drivers probably making more than me. So y'all not going to keep getting over on me like that. And it has gotten to the point to where I eventually moved on. That's why I'm here at USA now. But even here, it gets rough. And when you just think about it, every mega company have their ups and downs. There's no perfect company out here. So these are all the things you have to think about when you start to build this heavy interest of, I want to drive trucks. Yes, because obviously if you're getting into driving trucks, most likely you're going to be an OTR driver. Now, like I said, now unless you blessed and know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, or sometimes you ain't even got to do that. You just be blessed to get that local job that's paying doggone good. So yes, you have to have a tough skin to be a truck driver. Because like I said, if it ain't from just, you know, lack of showering. Now, I'm speaking, I don't know what other people have on their truck. Me, I've learned along the way to make myself comfortable. So I'm able to wash up on my truck. I'm able to shower if I want. But I took a lot of things off my truck to where, you know, I don't have like the big bin, but I still have my wash up bin and everything else. I can cook this and that. But when you new, you don't know this stuff. So, like I said, you know, you have to really have a tough skin, because at first it's going to be trial and error to where you don't know that you can wash up on your truck. You don't know that you can buy a porta potty the way you don't have to use these rest stop or truck stop disgusting bathroom. Those two alone is rough, the way you have to be, are you built for trucking? Even down to the food, like say you a healthy person and you love eating vegetables a lot, you like working out, you like doing this, that's going to cut down dramatically. So mentally you have to really want to do this, because if this is just something the way you just testing to see if you want to do it, or maybe you just in it only for the money, or you're not really passionate about trucking, it's just something that you think you want to do. I don't know. I don't know if it might work. It might and it might not. Pretty much I feel like trucking is a gamble, because I mean a lot of times you don't know until you know. So I mean it's always good to try to do new things, step out your comfort zone and see what you're able to do. But just know that it is things that you're not gonna like. I don't know anybody that's been driving trucks that can say they like 100% everything about trucking. There's a lot of truck drivers that got complaints on things they feel like they went through, had to go through to grow. So a lot of times, if you do decide to stick it out, you know, and you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you're learning the game and learning from your mistakes, you're gonna grow. And if you have to have a plan, and you truly have to have a plan of what do you want to do trucking for, because there's so many avenues you can take to do this, to do that. So you want to know if you're going to be a company driver, you want to know if you're going to be a lease driver, you want to know if you're just going to be an owner-operator. I mean, I really don't know the difference between an owner-operator and a lease driver. The only difference I can say is maybe the owner-operator owns his trucks. That's the difference, and I'm leasing my truck, but every other responsibility that comes with it is the same, because I'm responsible for my fuel, I'm responsible for my truck payment. I'm responsible for insurance. I have an LLC. I'm a 1099 worker. So, I mean, only thing I can say is maybe different is the amount of trucks, because some owner-operators have multiple trucks, or they might be leased straight onto direct shippers, or they go directly to like the load board off of the DAT, or stuff like that, where people like me and other lease drivers, we're actually leased on through companies' MC numbers. Like me, I'm using USA's authority, meaning like for people that don't know nothing about trucking, and you don't, like, obviously you haven't gotten into trucking yet, your own authority is sets of numbers that your courier, like courier meaning your LLC or your company, is identified as. So when that MC or DOT number is set up, you pretty much are under regulations to follow whatever. So you have to set up to what states you're going to run and this and that. So it's pretty much an identifier of your company. Even though an LLC is the same, but a DOT and MC number is really identifying like number for your company with DOT. LLC is just for LLC is just for a business entity. Your own authority is actually for DOT regulations and for you to operate in the transportation industry the legal way, to where all the liabilities and all the total expense of everything in true essence falls on your company. And if you do something wrong, the way you get sued, you know, you can get really came after real heavy if you don't, you know, first of all, have good workers, or you work good, to where somebody do something stupid and then everything is falling on you totally. So yes, that's what authority, kind of like a short, you know, information class about what authority is. I'm sure you senior drivers can add more into that, but that's so far what I know it to be so far. So yes, guys, before you just jump into trucking, truly analyze why you want to do it. Truly analyze if you got the tough skin to do it. And yes, because I mean, it's not a cakewalk. It can be a cakewalk, but just know that sometimes it's going to have its ups and downs. And I feel like trucking is like, it can be like a bad relationship. You know how in the beginning of a bad relationship, you had a honeymoon phase where everything's all lovey-dovey. But then as a couple years go on, you know, y'all get all settled in, and then the bills come in to where now it's not as honeymoon phase no more. Y'all done went from honeymoon phase to the real relationship stage. So that's how it is with trucking. When you first get in, you know, it's the honeymoon phase where, oh yeah, I get to see different states. Wow, look at those mountains. Wow, I finally went to California. Wow. And that's going to be amazing for, I'll say, the first year. And some people keep that, they keep that attitude through their whole experience of driving. But most people, after the first couple of years, they're like, man, I'm ready to fucking be local. I'm tired of being OTR. Like, y'all niggas can have that. But as far as like generally, you know, the first year you in the honeymoon phase of trucking. So it got its ups and downs, but obviously the major thing that it does have is increase in finances. If you do it right and you get with the right company, you definitely going to see a great reward. Like, you're going to triple. It depends on if you go lease a company, but as a lease driver, if you're doing it right, you can goddamn triple what you was making at a 9-to-5. So I mean, that's great, triple. But you're going to have to do some strange things for a piece of change. So, alright guys, I ain't going to hold y'all up. This video is going on 20 minutes. But I have so much stuff that I want to talk about. And there's a couple topics that I want to talk about, but I don't know if I'm ready to talk about it. Like, I want to talk about sexting. Sexting is when you meet somebody you like, or say it's your boyfriend. And obviously y'all talking dirty through text. Not verbal, but you talking dirty through text. So you might send a couple pictures. I definitely want to talk about that. And I want to talk about how it's hard trying to date as a YouTuber. We're going to get into that. There's a lot more stuff I want to talk about. I want to talk about parents. You know, I'm still not done on the children parent topic. And there's a lot more I'm going to talk about. So just know that I might push the envelope a few times. And like I said, everybody's not going to agree with me. And neither do I expect you to. All I do expect is that you show me some respect on my channel. Because if you don't, you know, I'll delete it, block it, hide you. There's all kind of ways to where I don't have to listen to the negative energy coming on my channel. And grant, if a criticism is coming, and it's straight from like purity heart, like you just telling me something out of just, you know, looking out for me, then I don't mind it. But I don't need nobody that's trying to come on my channel and think they're going to bully me or insult me. So that's all I'm saying. I don't mind hearing the truth, because I'm always up for the truth, because I don't know everything, and by far really don't know everything. So, all right, guys. I think I covered everything, but I know when I get off here, I'm like, wow, I forgot to say that. So now I'm going to have to make a part 2. But y'all like my hair, though? It ain't fully, I couldn't really get, like the front part of my hair flat ironed, so I'm gonna have to try to work that out a little more. But I finally got this joint sewed in. Yeah, this joint is sewed in. Got the edge, got that gorilla snot. Like, this is the gorilla snot that's for like black people, black women edges. Yeah, this stuff does really good on, like, you know, people that got natural hair edges. So, all right, y'all, I gotta clean my truck. I just finished my hair. Need to get some rest. Oh, that's another thing I want to talk about. It's, you know what, we'll talk about it. So, all right, y'all, I love y'all. So, time is the essence. I'm making better time of it. You know, just I gotta clean my truck and stuff. So let's love each other, not judge each other, because I never judge you, girl. And I love you, girl. Oh yeah. And the next video I'm going to do probably tomorrow is going to be the in-cab inspection. So I'm gonna try my best to get to this stuff, but I'm trying to get to as much as I can. So deuces, girl. Deuces. No, you didn't.